Oh, today is, excuse me, Tuesday, December 22nd. Tuesday? Nope, it's Wednesday, right? I've lost track of the days. Today's Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. Oh my gosh, the COVID is starting to hit in here. It's like memories. I'm going to share a story from years and years and years ago, but I can't even remember if today is Monday or Tuesday. That's a sad thought. But I did remember today is Judy Herman's birthday. Judy, you get a song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Judy. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. It's also my niece Kylie's birthday. She's 17 today. Oh my gosh. She's growing up too fast. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kylie. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Love you, Kylie. She doesn't watch my channel. But just on the off shot, she tunes me in. I've already called her this morning to wish her. Well, I called her and she didn't answer her phone, so I called Denise and I said, tell Kylie to answer her phone. So Kylie says, oh, I turned my ringer off. My family, when it's your birthday, everybody calls you and wishes you a happy birthday. Today, of all days, you don't have your ringer off. You want your ringer on so you can hear when people are calling you. So I'm going to be going over there, not going in. I'm going to stay outside, wear my mask, give her presents about 4 o'clock. We're going to exchange, I'm going to give her birthday presents. And then, no cake for me. Denise will probably let me have a piece of cake afterwards. I'll have to go back and get that. But I did go by the post office and I did get some mail. So, we've got some mail. I had to do something because I got to get out of the house every once in a while. I put my mask on, went in real quick, went right to my box, which is far, far away from the door to get into the actual sales part of the post office, so I didn't have to come in contact with anybody. So, oh, look at how pretty birdhouse is with the birds. I love my birds. It says, Dear Sandy, may the beauty of the holiday season bring you joy. Merry Christmas and a happy, healthy New Year. Love, Francis Sanchez. Thank you for the encouragement and support you give on your YouTube channel. I love your stories and I wish I had your memory. Best wishes for 2021. Okay. My memory doesn't remember what day of the week it was. I'm going to have to go look at my clock and let me know what day it is. And I got another one. It's a picture one. Can you tell who that is? It's the brand. It's Smack Vision with Ange and the girls. Happy holidays. With love. Okay, I got to take my glasses off. With lots of love, Ange. Oh my gosh, I know their names too, but I can't read them because there's the fancy writing. I know it's Jules, Tori, and Bella. Sorry. As you can see, it's like a weird day for me today anyhow. Anyway, Christy's going to come by later on today. I'm going to give her presents. And then my girlfriend was supposed to come by yesterday, is coming by today. So she's going to come by and we're going to sit outside and exchange our gifts back and forth to each other. And then I got tagged by Joan over at Joan's Pointed Plate. So I'm going to do that tag. She tagged Jimmy and I. Jimmy's got to get tested still, so I probably won't do the tag till tomorrow. So he gets tested, I think, every other day at work. So I didn't call him yet because it's kind of late in the day. He's probably already on his way home from work because it's later in the afternoon. But anyway, still kind of feeling a little, down about Christmas. But, it is what it is. I can't change it. I have to move on. I had breakfast. I had a bowl of oatmeal with some strawberries and a banana. And then for lunch, I had 2 slices of apple walnut toast with a little bit of butter and some raspberries. And for dinner, I'm going to have some chicken and potatoes and some broccoli. Trying to stay on track. I am. I'm doing really well, staying away from the fudge and the candy and all that. But I'm not turning to food because I don't want to do that. But I just wanted to do a really quick video. Of course, I got to share a story. I can remember from years and years ago. Can't remember the days of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, now I'm all set. My story today, which I've told, but Jim and I got married. Jim got drafted on the 23rd of June of 1969. And so he got out June 24th, 1971. And we got married 8 days later, July 2nd. And Jim didn't have a job. I was working part-time at a little fruit market and going to college full-time, working part-time at the thing. I changed it to full-time when I got married till Jim got a job. Jim was a couple weeks before he got a job, and then he ended up doing all kinds of different things. I know he was working, where was he? Oh, I know he worked, one time he worked midnights, and I was so afraid to be home alone at night, and I had an axe under my bed. A lot of good that's going to do me. Someone's going to just use the axe on me. You know, it's just, I was like having all my issues with not being alone, and I'd get dropped off at my mother's house. It was a bad time for me as far as that. I was young. I was 20. It was the first time being away from home, and anyway. But so we planned to getting married on the 2nd of July, and I didn't remember or didn't think of it or whatever that it was 4th of July weekend. We still had everybody show up for our wedding. We got married on a Friday on the 2nd of July, and we left for our honeymoon on Sunday, the 4th. And I couldn't figure out why there was so much darn traffic. Where are all these people going? It was a holiday weekend, Sandy. What were you thinking? And we went on our honeymoon, we went to Cedar Point. Because what does a 20-year-old want to do? They want to go have fun. So we went to Cedar Point. And we used our wedding money for that. And it was hot. The week I got married, oh my gosh, I told you that with my dress. I had a long sleeve winter gown. But it was like 103, 104. It was really, really hot. And so we got to Cedar Point. Cedar Point is about 2.5 hours from our house. And so we get to Cedar Point, and we decided that we were going to right away go and tour the park. And we wanted to come back and have the room nice and chilly, nice and cool, so that when we come back really hot, that would be the perfect conditions for, you know, because we were on our honeymoon. And so Jim turned the air conditioning on so high that it broke. It just like blew a fuse, it just frosted over. And we come back and the room was sweltering, and back then you couldn't open the windows because they had air conditioning units, and so the windows weren't open. It was so hot in that room, and there was nothing we could do, and because it was the holiday weekend, we couldn't get into another room. So I thought, oh, this is just miserable. This is miserable. So needless to say, we didn't spend much time in the room because it was too hot. And we stayed at Cedar Point for like 2 or 3 days. And then, you know, I thought, well, this was a bust. And so we went home, you know, got on with our life. And so I was looking forward to our first anniversary, because I thought our first anniversary is going to be the best anniversary ever, because it's going to make up for our crappy honeymoon night or honeymoon weekend. And so we had all this planned. We were going to go out to dinner. And Jim was working pretty steady then. He had a job at ADT, which was a burglar alarm protection security firm. And so I thought, oh, this is going to be we're going to have a really special night. So we have lived in an upper flat, and the upper flat, it wasn't really a porch, but it was like the overhang of the porch below us. And it was shingled and that, but you could still put chairs out there because there was a door to get out there. And so we would sit out there at night. And so I was all dressed, ready to go, because Jim always wants to be like the last one in the shower, so like when he's all ready, we're just out the door. So I got all dressed. I got my best outfit on. I'm like we had reservations to go to a nice restaurant, and I'm sitting on the porch and I'm waiting for Jim, and I'm waiting and waiting. And he's not coming. Back then, there's no cell phones, obviously. And so I'm thinking in my mind, oh my gosh, he got some overtime. This is good. We're going to have some extra money. So even the money we spend tonight's not going to really matter, because he's making overtime money, because he should have been home an hour ago. So at least we got an hour overtime, which was double time pay. I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be so great. Well, then the 1 hour turned into 2 hours. And I thought, well, this is still pretty good. We can really get something really nice now. And then the 2 hours turned into 3 hours, and now I'm getting upset. Because it's like, okay, you didn't have to stay for 3 hours. You could have just said, you know what, an hour is good, 2 is the best I'm going to do, but 3, I got my wife, my bride, she's waiting, and we're going out to celebrate because we didn't have a really good honeymoon. 3 hours turned into 4 hours, and 4 hours turned into 5 hours. Now I'm getting worried. I am so worried. Like, where is he? Where can he possibly be? And so I started calling people to see, like, you know, did he get in an accident? And I'm thinking, no, the police would have come to the door. I called his parents, and they said, no, we haven't heard from him. Like I said, I called his friends. I tried to get a hold of people that he worked with, but, you know, their spouses said, no, they're not home yet either. I don't know where they are. I was, like, really worried. And so I'm just sitting out there stewing. Now I'm, like, worried because it's like, oh, my gosh, what a crappy... I thought my honeymoon night was crappy. This is, like, even crappier. I think my husband's dead. He's been in some horrible crash. I don't know what's going on. I was just like, all the worst thoughts I could possibly think were going through my mind. And then on our street, we were on a fire route, so you could only park on the one side of the street. And parking was at a premium because the whole block was flats, upper and lower flats, or apartments, whatever you want to call them. And there was only parking on the one side of the street. And obviously, I rented from the landlord, so they parked in the driveway. Well, we couldn't park in our driveway. We had to park on the street. And there was like this one parking spot that was open. And I see this car coming down the street. And it's like going back and forth. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's a drunk. He's going to hit somebody's car. And then as the car got closer, I looked, it looks a lot like our car. And then I see it, and it goes to the corner, because we were the third house off of the corner. And it went to make the U-turn to park across the street. It went up the curb, down the curb, and then went up the curb and down the curb, and then went up the curb and down the curb, and then went up the curb and down the curb, and then it parked. And then these two drunks fall out of the car, one of them being Jim, laughing like idiots, passed out on the ground well, it's Jack and Marge's, it's their house, passed out on their front lawn, and Jim's trying to pick up his friend who passed out. I'm like so mad at this point, and it's like, I cannot believe this. He is drunk, and I didn't say drunk, I went with that bad word, and it wasn't fudge. I was so pissed that he was drunk on our anniversary day. And so then he comes up, I hear them coming up the stairs when he finally got John, because the guy's name was John. He finally got John awake, and they're like laughing and singing, and you know how drunks are. And I could hear them coming up the steps. And then he comes in and he says, I'd like you to meet my new best friend. This is John. And I just looked at him and I thought, what the hell? And then I can't snap my fingers. He snapped his fingers and he says, woman, go make up the spare bed for my friend. He is lucky that he's alive because I was beyond control. Like, it's lucky that axe wasn't there at this point, let me tell you, because it was like we would have read about me on the news, a mass murder, because it would have been a double homicide. It wouldn't have even been a murder-suicide. It would have been a double homicide because I was so pissed at the both of them. So I said, make it up yourself. And then I went into the bedroom and slammed the door. And then our bedrooms had locks on it. I locked the door. I'm like, you are not coming in this room. And then I heard them out there just like laughing and giggling. And it was like So I went to bed, madder than hell. And in the morning when I woke up, I don't drink coffee, but I love the smell of coffee. I love the smell of coffee. And that's what woke me up, was the smell of coffee. And I thought, oh my gosh. And I don't drink coffee, and Jim doesn't drink coffee. So I'm thinking, oh, Mrs. Tepper must be up early making coffee downstairs, because I always smelled whatever she made. And I come out of the bedroom, and here's John in the kitchen making breakfast. He's making bacon and eggs and coffee, and he had juice, and he had set the table. And Jim was still passed out on the couch. And then John was mortified. He said, oh my gosh, he said, I am so sorry that we have to meet like this. I thought the least I could do was make breakfast. I appreciate you letting me spend the night, because there's no way I could have drove home. I don't even know where my car is. And I said, well, I'd like to say it's nice to meet you, John, but it's really not. It's not really nice to meet you. So he said, well, I'm really sorry, but, you know, we did work a little bit of overtime, but then Jim told us it was your anniversary. It was your first year anniversary, so we went for having a drink. I says, oh, you had more than a drink. He says, oh, no, we had more than a drink. We had way more than a drink. And then Jim comes into the kitchen. And I said, I don't even want to talk to you. And he says, well, you know, I do apologize that I was wrong. I should have come home, but, you know, they wanted to get me a drink. And I thought, and I said, so how much overtime did you get? A half an hour. A half an hour. I just got up, walked out of the room. I was just so upset. And so then Jim and John sat and ate breakfast. And then John, I could hear him, he says, well, I think I better go. And Jim says, yeah, I think you better. So then John peeked in the room and he says, well, it was nice meeting you. Hopefully we'll see each other again under better circumstances. I said, yeah, I hope so too, I guess. And so then John left and then Jim came in and apologized. But it took him a while to get out of the doghouse, I'll be honest with you, it did. And then we ended up becoming really good friends with John and his wife Dorothy. We did a lot of things. We bowled together. We went, they double dated and stuff like that. He was a really nice guy. And we joked for years and years about the first meeting. So anyway, that's my story for today. Got to get on with my day. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Got 2 more stories to come up with. So, all right. Be safe. Talk to you guys tomorrow.